Hey guys, I'm Mezzy, and welcome to my guide for Heroic Immerseus. Now this is a good first heroic encounter, so let's get started right away. First of all, I'm going to assume that you know the normal mode mechanics. If you don't, however, you can check out my normal mode Immerseus guide. You can click the link in the annotation or in the description section below. In general, there are only two changes to the heroic mode encounter. He still does shop bolts / pools that you need to move away from, swirl with which he spins around, and corrosive blast that requires a tank switch. In phase 1, however, he gains one new ability called Swelling Corruption. He will have an amount of stacks based on how much corruption he has left. Every time you hit the boss with the single target ability, you will put one of these stacks as a debuff on you. This debuff is a dot, and its damage will increase a lot more per stacks. So if you have 7 or 8 stacks, it will do a ton of damage that will probably one-shot you. So you want to get to 4 to 5 stacks max. This debuff can and should be dispelled as much as possible though, because you want to get all of the stacks off of Immerseus. The second thing that happens when you get a stack of the debuff is that somewhere in the room a Shaw ad will spawn. As soon as you see one of these ads, you need to switch to it and kill it, even if you're not at 4 to 5 stacks yet. Many of these ads will spawn, however, so you'll want your tank who's not tanking the boss to pick up the ads. Tank them close to the boss and have the DPS AoE these down. The very first phase 1 will last the longest, and because of that is the hardest part of the fight. You should use heroism at the start, and after about 10 seconds you will use Swelling Corruption, meaning the hard part of the fight begins. As many shop pools will spawn from the shop bolts, it means you have to use the space you have efficiently, because your healers will still need to be able to reach almost everyone. So here's what we did for positioning. The ranged and healers, except for the tank healer, stood on one triangle part, preferably at max range, in pretty much a sort of line. Every time a shop pool was put underneath them, they moved forward. If you have priests, make sure you use Mass Dispel to your advantage, so you can get more stacks of Swelling Corruption off the boss quicker. We did the max range rule so that the area near Immerseus would be free for dealing with the Shaw ads. When we had about 60% of the stacks off of the boss, we had all the DPS and healers move forward closer to Immerseus, so that the second tank would be able to pick up the ads easier. Even with this, it's still hard to do so as there are so many ads. So if you have hunters, get them to use misdirection to get the ads on the tank. Once a majority of the ads has been picked up or killed, you can move back a bit so not everyone is on top of each other. Once all the ads are dead and the stacks are off of Immerseus, kill him as soon as possible to force the phase change. During all this, Immerseus will also still do swirl, which hurts a lot. To only get one tick of damage from it, move through it when it comes towards you and use cooldowns just in case to survive. A warning for you though, if you do not get to phase 2 fast enough, he will do another corrosive blast and a swirl. If he still lives after the second swirl, he will use Swelling Corruption again, meaning you'll have to deal with extra ads in phase 2. Phase 2 has one difference compared to normal mode. In phase 2 he turns into a shop pool which grows over time. This means the larger it is, the less distance the blobs need to travel to merge with him. You can make the pool smaller by standing in it. This will also give you a debuff, however, which can really start hurting a non-tank after 3 or 4 stacks. To deal with this, we had either a tank soak a few stacks of the pool, or if they were busy killing an ad and another DPS had no more blobs in their sector, then they would take a few stacks. We dealt with phase 2 pretty much exactly the way I just talked about with the shop pools. The only extra thing you should do is put marks around Immerseus and assign DPS to the regions so that every part of the room is covered for blobs. It's a good first heroic encounter. It makes a boss which was kind of boring on normal mode interesting on heroic. So good luck with getting your first heroic kill. If you liked this video, please comment and subscribe. If you would like to keep up with when new videos come out, but you don't have a YouTube account, you can also follow me on Facebook or Twitter, both which use the username bbmezzy. For now, I'm Mezzy, and I'll see you again next time.